Chapter 1757. Do you want to hear the truth or a lie? In the dark void, the speed of the killing saint was faster than the star domain teleportation array. Lin Moyu only took half a day to rush out of the dark void. The path chosen by the killing saint did not pass through the White Tiger star domain. Instead, it directly bypassed the central Divine City star domain and went straight to the Vermilion Bird star domain. From there, he used the teleportation array of the Vermilion Bird star domain to head to the Vermilion Bird battlefield. Even after leaving the dark void, the speed of the killing saint was still astonishing, not slower than the teleportation array. He didn't even need to rely on flying artifacts, just using the shadow rules to move through the dark areas along the way. 2 days later, Lin Moyu arrived at the Vermilion Bird star domain. After sending Lin Moyu to the Vermilion Bird star domain, the killing saint turned and left, reminding him to focus on his cultivation and not get distracted. Clearly, the saints were very concerned about ancient matters. Feeling the familiar.
127.
Aura, Lin Moyu's memory surged.
He remembered when he had just left the small world. It seemed like yesterday. At that time, he was only at the super god level, not even a true god. But in the blink of an eye, he had become a god king. He had killed many god kings and quite a few god lords, transforming from an unknown youth into a genius praised by the world. All the changes seemed to have happened yesterday. He thought of Gu Qingxian, a pure and elegant woman. As a direct disciple of a god lord, she had her own pride. With good aptitude and steady cultivation, she dreamed of entering the Divine City. With Gu Qingxuan's ability, entering the Divine City was inevitable, just a matter of time. He also thought of Renchang, one of his friends, who was straightforward but a bit silly.
When this is over, I can come back and have a drink with Renchang. As for Gu Qingxian, whether we meet again depends on fate.
Lin Moyu was calm and did not force anything. If it was meant to be, they would meet again. The teleportation array activated, and after several transfers, Lin Moyu returned to the Vermilion Bird battlefield. Each battlefield had its unique aura, and the aura of the Black Tortoise battlefield was completely different from that of the Vermilion Bird battlefield. The familiar aura brought back memories. Here, he had grown from a true god to a god king, going through a very important stage. In this place, Zhu Qiwu had helped him a lot. To Lin Moyu, Zhu Qiwu was not just a respected senior but also half a teacher. Without Zhu Qiwu, his cultivation would not have been so smooth. To repay the favor, Lin Moyu, upon obtaining the inheritance of the star fragmentation rule, immediately thought of finding Zhu Qiwu, without even considering returning to the Divine City. Following the markers, the first fortress of the Vermilion Bird battlefield came into view. Entering the fortress, Lin Moyu received a battlefield token again. Holding the familiar token, Lin Moyu sent a message to Zhu Qiwu, informing him of his arrival. After waiting for a few minutes without a response, Lin Moyu was a bit surprised. Zhu Qiwu should have received his message, and he had said he wouldn't leave the battlefield temporarily. Even if he left, as long as there was the Human Emperor network, he should have received the message and at least informed him. After waiting a few more minutes, Lin Moyu sent another message. This time, he quickly received a response and immediately headed to the trading center. Familiar with the place, Lin Moyu entered the backyard of the trading center and saw the familiar pavilion. In the pavilion, Yuzhu was sitting gracefully. The familiar person, familiar tea, and familiar setup, everything was unchanged. The scene was so familiar, as if time had turned back to a few years ago, overlapping with his memories. However, not everything was the same. Yuzhu's eyes sparkled with uncontrollable excitement, her smile radiant.
Captain, you're finally back. Did you miss me?
Yuzhu was still as beautiful as ever, with no trace of time on her. Since that mission, Yuzhu had always called Lin Moyu
Captain.
And it never changed. Lin Moyu took a sip of tea, still the refreshing and sweet iced tea of the Ice Clan.
I had some matters to attend to.
Yuzhu rolled her eyes at Lin Moyu.
Captain, that's not nice. Just telling the truth.
Lin Moyu said straightforwardly, fully displaying his blunt nature. Yuzhu snorted.
Captain, can't you say something nice, like you miss me?
Lin Moyu threw the question back at Yuju.
Do you want to hear the truth or a lie?
Yuju tilted her head, thinking for a moment, then smiled.
I want to hear both the truth and the lie, as long as it's something nice.
Lin Moyu chuckled.
The truth is, I did have some matters to attend to and came to find Senior Zhu Qiwu, but I also wanted to see you.
Yuju's smile brightened.
Whether you missed me or not doesn't matter, as long as you remember me.
Lin Moyu smiled.
I won't forget. After all, we are comrades.
Yuju poured more tea for Lin Moyu.
Captain, are you looking for Zhu Qiwu?
Lin Moyu nodded.
I sent a message but got no reply. Senior Zhu Qiwu should still be in the battlefield. Do you have any specific information?
Yuju shook her head.
For someone of Zhu Qiwu's level, his whereabouts are usually kept secret by the military. It's hard for us to find out. But a few months ago, we received news that Senior Zhu left the 10th fortress. I'll check if there's any latest information.
Yuju connected to the Human Emperor network, searching for the latest news. The Yu family had its own intelligence system, which seemed to be connected to the Su family. After all, both families had ancestors at the other shore level, so sharing intelligence was normal. A few minutes later, Yuju left the Human Emperor network.
There is news, but it's from a month ago. Senior Zhu left the 10th fortress 9 months ago and has been appearing in various areas, killing god lords of different races. In just 8 months, he has killed over 300 god lords, including 50 high-level god lords. A month ago, Senior Zhu was last seen in the 10th war zone, then disappeared.
Lin Moyu listened to the intelligence and began to ponder. Why did Zhu Qiwu suddenly start killing so many god lords? With Zhu Qiwu's strength, killing god lords wasn't difficult, but why didn't he do it before and only started now? Lin Moyu recalled what Zhu Qiwu had said before, that he had something important to do. This was said when he was halfway to the other shore. Lin Moyu also remembered what happened shortly after Zhu Qiwu arrived at the battlefield. A strong enemy from another race had killed many human god lords until they encountered Zhu Qiwu, who repelled them. That battle was famous, and the enemy god lord was very powerful, killing several high-level human god lords. Zhu Qiwu had mentioned that although he repelled the enemy, he was also injured. Connecting the dots, Lin Moyu roughly guessed what Zhu Qiwu had been doing these past months. Lin Moyu had some understanding but wasn't entirely sure.
Would the military know more?
Yuju nodded.
They should. Do you want me to ask?
Lin Moyu shook his head.
No need, I'll ask myself. After I'm done, I'll come back for tea and to sell some things.
1758 1758. Chapter 1758. Using killing as a guide, paving the way with blood. Leaving the trading center, Lin Moyu sent a message to Ku Yuanjun, saying he had something to discuss. At the same time, Lin Moyu headed towards the teleportation array. Ku Yuanjun quickly responded and immediately came over. He did not dare to neglect Lin Moyu. As a Legion commander, the information he received far exceeded that of others. Not to mention Lin Moyu's relationship with Zhu Qiwu. His own disciple also relied on Lin Moyu for treatment. Even the things Lin Moyu did after leaving the battlefield occasionally reached his ears. For whatever reason, he could not afford to neglect such a super genius as Lin Moyu. Just as Lin Moyu arrived at the teleportation array, Ku Yuanjun also arrived. Upon seeing Lin Moyu, Ku Yuanjun's body trembled slightly. For some reason, he felt a powerful pressure emanating from Lin Moyu. Although Lin Moyu was just a god king, he felt stronger than a god sovereign. This was his intuition as a soldier. Lin Moyu got straight to the point.
Commander Ku, do you know where Senior Zhu has gone?
Ku Yuanjun's face changed.
Are you here to find Commander Zhu?
Lin Moyu nodded.
I can't reach Senior Zhu. I heard some information from the Yu family, but I don't know the details.
Ku Yuanjun said.
Let's go to Fortress number 10. I'll explain in detail when we get there.
As he spoke, Ku Yuanjun took out his battlefield token and quickly operated it. granting Lin Moyu access to Fortress Number 10. Fortress Number 10 was not a place one could go to at will. It required the appropriate permissions. The two activated the teleportation array and headed towards Fortress Number 10. As countless streams of light passed by, Lin Moyu's face grew somber while standing in the teleportation array's passage. Although Ku Yuanjun hadn't said anything, his reaction made Lin Moyu feel uneasy. If there was nothing wrong, Ku Yuanjun could have just said so directly. There was no need for such secrecy. The two remained silent along the way, creating a somewhat oppressive atmosphere. Ku Yuanjun originally wanted to chat with Lin Moyu to get closer, but seeing Lin Moyu's serious expression, he wisely kept his mouth shut. The teleportation ended in silence, and the two arrived at Fortress Number 10. A middle-aged man in a white robe was already waiting in front of the teleportation array. Ku Yuanjun immediately introduced,
This is Commander Murong Tu of Fortress Number 10.
Lin Moyu slightly bowed.
Greetings, Commander Murong. Could you tell me what has happened?
Murong Tua had already received the information from Ku Yuanjun and knew that Lin Moyu had a special relationship with Zhu Qiwu. Moreover, Lin Moyu was an honored soldier with the rank of captain, so he did not hide anything.
Commander Zhu has gone to the core area of the battlefield.
Lin Moyu frowned.
Why did Senior Zhu go there?
Murong Tua asked.
Captain Lin, have you heard of the blood path to the other shore?
Lin Moyu was slightly taken aback.
I have not.
Murong Tua explained to Lin Moyu what the blood path to the other shore was. To reach the other shore, one must use killing as a guide and pave the way with blood. Among the beings at the other shore realm, there is an unwritten rule that they cannot easily take action. Therefore, on the surface, God sovereigns appear to be the strongest force. Most people don't even know about the existence of the other shore realm. However, individuals like Zhu Qiwu, who have one foot in the other shore realm, surpass God sovereigns but are not true beings of the other shore, are not restricted. As long as they don't invade others' territories, beings at the other shore realm from other races won't interfere in battlefield matters. Thus, when such individuals appear, they seize the opportunity to kill God sovereigns from other races. They call this the blood path to the other shore, using the blood of their enemies to pave their way to the other shore, creating a path to the heavens. 1,000 years ago, shortly after Zhu Qiwu arrived on the battlefield, he encountered such an individual. It was a peak god sovereign from the demon race with one foot in the other shore realm, causing great destruction. Dozens of god sovereigns from the human race were killed, including several high-level god sovereigns. Eventually, he found Zhu Qiwu and tried to kill him. After a fierce battle, Zhu Qiwu repelled him but was severely injured, taking hundreds of years to recover. This battle was neither a clear victory nor defeat, but Zhu Qiwu claimed he did not lose. 1,000 years later, it is now Zhu Qiwu's turn to tread the blood path to the other shore. In recent months, Zhu Qiwu has been moving across various battlefield areas, killing one god sovereign after another. This time, he went to the core area of Zone 10 because of intelligence that several peak god sovereigns from various races had joined forces to counterattack Zhu Qiwu, trying to prevent him from reaching the other shore. No matter which race, even those without enmity with the human race, they do not want another being at the other shore realm to emerge from the human race. Just because there is no enmity now doesn't mean there won't be in the future. After hearing Murong Tuo's explanation, Lin Moyu asked,
Commander Murong, do you know where this intelligence came from?
Murong Tua thought for a moment.
Commander Zhu didn't say, but he mentioned it was from someone named Old Su.
Old Su, the Su family. Lin Moyu understood that this intelligence came from the Su family. Zhu Qiwu, being from the Divine City, having connections with the Su family was normal. The Su family is one of the largest intelligence families in the human race, alongside the Yu family. Many of the Yu family's messages also come from the Su family. Just look at the Guanxi Hall in the Divine City. After receiving the intelligence from the Su family, Zhu Qiwu would naturally not doubt its authenticity and went there. He has been gone for a month without returning, indicating something might have gone wrong. Whether alive or dead, Lin Moyu decided to see for himself. But before going, he needed to make some preparations. To deal with peak god sovereigns, he needed to be well prepared. He immediately activated the teleportation array and returned to Fortress Number 1. Communicating with the Human Emperor network, he said,
"Open the military supply warehouse."
He still had 3 military supply points and 16 contribution points. With his current realm, he could exchange for most God King level items. Adding contribution points, he could even exchange for God Sovereign level items. The Human Emperor network prompted,
"Opening the military supply warehouse requires 1 military supply point. This action cannot be undone. Please confirm." "Open."
Lin Moyu confirmed with his thoughts.
"Opening the military supply warehouse. 1 military supply point has been deducted."
A massive warehouse appeared before Lin Moyu, with the starry sky as the background. All treasures were placed in the starry sky, like stars. Each treasure had a name. After making a selection, detailed information about the treasure, including its level, use, and method of use, would be provided. This was Lin Moyu's second time opening the military supply warehouse, so he was familiar with the scene and knew what he needed. He quickly scanned the God King level treasures and then ignored them. He spoke loudly,
"Consume 4 contribution points."
The Human Emperor network prompted again.
"Your realm is God King. The maximum exchange level is High Level God Sovereign. Opening the exchange requires 3 contribution points. Confirm to use 4 contribution points."
Lin Moyu wasn't foolish and immediately said,
"Consume 3 contribution points." "Consuming 3 contribution points. This action cannot be undone. Please confirm." "Consume."
With his confirmation, 3 contribution points were deducted. The God King level treasures rippled like water and then disappeared. New treasures appeared, exuding powerful auras. 1759, 1759. Chapter 1759. Prepare weapons, prepare to kill. Using 3 contribution points, Lin Moyu directly upgraded to the level of treasures. The treasures at the God Sovereign realm are extremely powerful and rare, with many restrictions. With his God King realm cultivation using 1 contribution point, he could directly see low-level God Sovereign treasures and materials. For example, the
Faith Mirror
type of treasure belongs to the low-level God Sovereign realm. Using 2 contribution points, he could see mid-level God Sovereign treasures and materials. Using 3 contribution points, he could see high-level God Sovereign treasures and materials. A faint and chaotic sound reached his ears. It was the sound of the artifact spirits discussing among themselves, but it seemed to be restricted, so their voices were very light. While Lin Moyu was examining the treasures, the artifact spirits were also examining Lin Moyu. With the improvement of his strength and realm, Lin Moyu's knowledge had far surpassed before. At this moment, he clearly realized that he was in a state between reality and illusion. The military supply warehouse actually existed, and what he saw was real, but he himself was virtual. The artifact spirits in the military supply warehouse could see him, and he could see them, but he couldn't touch them. This feeling was very strange. Each item had a corresponding description. Lin Moyu skipped all the treasures. These treasures were of no use to him. For soul attacks, he had the soul shooting bow. For regular treasures, he had the golden sword. For transportation, he had the golden eagle God Sovereign mount. Lin Moyu was very wealthy, surpassing most God Sovereigns, so he didn't need to exchange for treasures. This time, he opened the military supply warehouse to exchange for materials. There were too many items in the warehouse, so Lin Moyu didn't waste time looking for each one. Instead, he directly said,
"Show me the corpses of starry sky beasts."
The corpses of starry sky beasts are also a type of material. Now, what Lin Moyu could see were all high-level God Sovereign materials, at least high-level God Sovereign starry sky beast corpses. There are millions of types of starry sky beasts, and their corpses have various uses. Some 7th-level God Sovereign starry sky beasts as materials are even better than 9th-level God Sovereign starry sky beasts. However, Lin Moyu didn't care about these. He only looked at the level and vitality. Most of the treasures in front of him disappeared, leaving only over 100 corpses. These corpses were complete, covered by space formations, looking small. But once they left the space formations, they would reveal their true forms and become very large. Lin Moyu immediately found the corpse he needed. Corpse of the Stellar Fire Vine. Realm before death. 9th level God Sovereign. Main use. Its corpse is suitable for refining whip-type treasures, and is the main material for the high-level God Sovereign treasure, the Sunfire Whip. Other uses. Main material for refining the Blazing Fire Pill and auxiliary material for many fire attribute pills. Lin Moyu read the description and silently added,
It's also a good material for corpse explosion.
The reason he chose the corpse of the Stellar Fire Vine was simple. It was a plant-type 9th level God Sovereign Starry Sky Beast. At the same realm, plant-type Starry Sky Beasts have the strongest vitality, which is common knowledge. The power of corpse explosion is closely related to the vitality of the corpse before death. The stronger the vitality, the more powerful the corpse explosion. After choosing the Stellar Fire Vine, Lin Moyu opened the military supply warehouse a second time, using another 3 contribution points to exchange for another 9th level God Sovereign Starry Sky Beast corpse. This time, he exchanged for a Starry Sky Beast called the Sun Swallowing Beast, which also had strong vitality. With 3 military supply points, he had 1 point left. Lin Moyu didn't use it all. Out of 16 contribution points, he used 6, leaving 10. Then he quietly waited. After the exchange was completed, he couldn't leave. The Human Emperor Network would deliver the exchanged items as quickly as possible. Lin Moyu waited in Fortress Number 1 for half a day. A warship flew directly over and delivered the items to Lin Moyu. The 2 corpses were placed in 2 storage treasures. With these 2 corpses, Lin Moyu felt confident. Even if he faced a peak God Sovereign, he could kill them instantly. Moreover, the 2 Starry Sky Beast corpses were just the beginning. The peak God Sovereigns killed would become new weapons.
Let's go!
Lin Moyu didn't delay and activated the teleportation array again. After several transfers, half a day later, Lin Moyu returned to Fortress Number 10. Morong Tua and Commander Ku Yuanjun were still waiting, seemingly discussing something, both looking serious. After Lin Moyu returned, the 3 of them didn't waste any words and directly headed to the forward base. Morong Tua personally activated the teleportation array for Lin Moyu, sending him off. As a commander, he couldn't leave easily, especially when Zhu Qiwu was not around. He had to stay and guard. Ku Yuanjun was the same. With his strength, going there would be sending himself to death, so there was no need. After Lin Moyu left through the teleportation array, Morong Tua whispered,
Captain Lin is a true genius.
Ku Yuanjun naturally agreed with Morong Tua but was also worried.
But Captain Lin is just a god king. If even Commander Zhu is in danger, Captain Lin might also be in danger.
Morong Tua smiled mysteriously.
Some things are hard to say. According to the information from our family's ancestor, Captain Lin is on equal terms with those few in the Divine City.
Ku Yuanjun couldn't believe it.
Those few? Are you joking?
Morong Tua shook his head.
Do you think I'm joking? If it weren't for this, why would I agree to let Captain Lin go? You know, there are at least peak god sovereigns over there, and not just one.
Keskiviikko Yuanjun understood.
So Captain Lin at least has the strength to contend with peak god sovereigns.
Morong Tua thought for a few seconds and then said uncertainly,
According to the ancestor, Captain Lin should have a trump card, and he seems well prepared. Anyway, let's hope Captain Lin and Commander Zhu return safely.
At this point, they could only hope for Lin Moyu and Zhu Qiwu's safety. The teleportation ended, and Lin Moyu appeared in the dim starry sky. Using the faint starlight, Lin Moyu found the direction and summoned the Golden Eagle God Sovereign Mount, flying towards the core area. With space leaps, the speed quickly reached 100 million kilometers per second. Lin Moyu held a formation disk, which could sense Zhu Qiwu's battlefield token within 1 million kilometers. Time passed, and Lin Moyu activated the undead vision, searching for the target. Here, using soul flames as a guide was more effective than the undead eye of the other shore realm. As he got closer to the core area, soul flames appeared in his vision. Each soul flame represented a starry sky beast. The starry sky beasts were scattered in the starry sky, seemingly asleep. Through the soul flames, he could judge the strength of their owners, most of whom were first or second level god sovereigns. The closer to the core area, the stronger the starry sky beasts. Bang! It was as if he had hit an invisible wall. The golden eagle god sovereign mount suddenly braked, interrupting the space leap. 1,760. Chapter 1760. Searching for a needle in the sea. So what? The space leap was interrupted, and Lin Moyu looked at the starry sky in front of him. The starry sky was sealed with something similar to a space-locking formation, causing the space leap to fail. Lin Moyu knew he was in the right direction. Zhu Qiwu should be here. He had already entered the core area, and although he hadn't reached the central zone, he could feel the aura of the core area. His soul felt a slight burning sensation. In the core area, the soul of the divine beast vermilion bird was there, along with that egg. The starry sky was vast and expansive. The sealed space could extend beyond billions of kilometers, and it was a three-dimensional space. If there were hidden treasures or formations, finding Zhu Qiwu in such a large space would be like searching for a needle in a haystack. Lin Moyu believed that those guys, to deal with Zhu Qiwu, would certainly prevent the human race from rescuing him. Hiding was a natural thing to do, and they might even block the battlefield token, making it impossible to find him using a search formation. However, what was a huge difficulty for others was not difficult for Lin Moyu. A massive number of skeletons appeared in the starry sky. To find Zhu Qiwu as quickly as possible, Lin Moyu did not hold back and summoned 10 million skeleton god generals. The skeleton god generals turned into streams of light, flying in all directions. Lin Moyu stood still, waiting for the skeleton god general's messages. At the same time, he connected to the undead vision, searching for the target. One by one, starry sky beasts were discovered, and the skeleton god generals continuously sent messages. Lin Moyu switched to the undead vision, seeing clusters of soul flames. The closer he got to the core, the more starry sky beasts there were, and the stronger they became. However, these starry sky beasts were busy absorbing the energy of the vermilion bird and paid no attention to the passing skeleton god generals. It is said that starry sky beasts have territorial awareness, and any intruder would be attacked. But here, there was no such problem. Even if the skeleton god generals flew within 100 kilometers of the starry sky beasts, they had no reaction. It seemed that as long as you didn't disturb them, they wouldn't bother you. Apart from the constant burning sensation in his soul, as if there was the sound of flames burning, the entire starry sky was extremely quiet. Lin Moyu was very patient. He believed that Zhu Qiwu was not so easy to kill and was most likely trapped somewhere. Half a day later, Lin Moyu had determined that the sealed area had a diameter of about 1 billion kilometers. The purpose of the space seal was to trap Zhu Qiwu, preventing him from escaping. After all, Zhu Qiwu had a special warship that could burst out with combat power comparable to the other shore realm in a short time and had astonishing speed. But everything has two sides. The space seal also exposed their location. Once the area was determined, the rest was simple. No matter what method was used to seal the space, the seal would spread from the center point outward. Now it was no exception. Lin Moyu just needed to find the center point of this area. The golden eagle god sovereign mount turned into a golden light and rushed forward. In just half an hour, Lin Moyu reached the center point of the seal. The center point was pitch black with nothing there. This place was not far from the core area, and the nearby starry sky beasts had reached the 5th level of the god sovereign realm. They still had no reaction to Lin Moyu's arrival. The undead vision found nothing, so Lin Moyu activated the soul eye. The world in his eyes changed, and lines of laws appeared. The lines of laws were continuous, and without external interference, they would not change. The entire great world operated under the interweaving of the lines of laws. But at the center point, the lines of laws were twisted. Some lines were clearly disturbed by external forces, and their trajectories changed. At a fixed position, Some lines were clearly disturbed by external forces, and their trajectories changed. At a fixed position, some lines of laws disappeared, as if passing through an invisible but real object, and then reappeared. This object had a diameter of about 1 meter.
Finally found it. It really is an independent space.
Lin Moyu said softly. In a three-dimensional spherical area with a diameter of 1 billion kilometers, finding an independent space with a diameter of only 1 meter was harder than finding a needle in a haystack. Now Lin Moyu had two options. One was to find a way to enter this independent space, and the other was to break it and let it return to the real world. Not knowing the situation inside the space, Lin Moyu naturally wouldn't rush in and take risks. He chose the simplest and most direct method, break it. A large number of skeleton god generals gathered from all directions, surrounding the 1 meter diameter area in layers. Then, white sword energy illuminated the dim starry sky. All the sword energy accurately fell within the 1 meter diameter area. The starry sky exploded, and brilliant light like a newborn star illuminated the starry sky. An invisible force, carrying violent spatial fluctuations, spread out like a tsunami. The silence was shattered, and many nearby starry sky beasts seemed to wake up and looked over. Their eyes were unfriendly, as if blaming Lin Moyu for disturbing them, and they also issued warnings. Lin Moyu ignored them. Like the starry sky beasts, as long as they didn't provoke him, he wouldn't bother them. If they attacked first, he wouldn't mind killing them, selling their flesh for money, and drinking wine. Lin Moyu stared closely at the center of the explosion. The independent space was shattered and was about to return to the real world. Figures and scenes trembled before his eyes, turning from illusion to reality.
There are quite a few people.
Lin Moyu saw no fewer than 10 people. In the undead vision, clusters of soul flames appeared, and a vast aura spread out. All were peak god sovereigns, and the starry sky trembled, seemingly unable to bear the pressure. Among the auras, Lin Moyu also felt a trace of the power of rules. It was a very weak power of rules, incomparable to the other shore realm, and even more so to the Saint realm. As the independent space merged with the real world, both people and scenes quickly enlarged, returning to normal. Lin Moyu stood thousands of miles away, quietly watching and searching for Zhu Qiwu.
Who is it? Looking for death.
Amid the angry shouts, someone flew out of the independent space first, carrying a golden light. It was a god sovereign from the Golden Eagle clan, moving extremely fast, instantly entering the real world. He was greeted by the sword energy attacks of the skeleton god generals. The dense white sword energy filled his entire vision. His whole body shone with golden light, which turned into armor, blocking all the sword energy. The skeleton god generals were only at the second level of the god sovereign realm, far inferior to the peak god sovereign.
You are looking for death.
The golden eagle god sovereign roared, his wings vibrating, dropping thousands of golden lights. The golden lights turned into a rain of swords, instantly killing thousands of skeleton god generals. The independent space finally merged with the real world, and Lin Moyu finally saw Zhu Qiwu. 1761, 1761.